Good evening, everyone. Thank you for attending tonight, Thursday, October 19th, 2023, our regularly scheduled Board of Selectmen's meeting. I call our meeting to order, and I ask that we please all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Does anybody have any additions or changes to the agenda? Okay, hearing none. Our next section would be our public comment. This section of the agenda is reserved for people in attendance who wish to briefly address the board. The board requests that comments be limited to 3 minutes or less. People wishing to comment should type comment and your name in the chat box, and you will be recognized. Okay, hearing or seeing none. Moving on to our good to know special recognition. Andy?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. So under this heading, we have the American 250 Connecticut Commission, or 250th anniversary for the Declaration of Independence, America 250, Connecticut 250 .org. And in the packet, I'll quickly read this, I hope, is Dear Ms. Lands, on July 4th, 2026, United States of America will mark the 250th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence last year. In anticipation of the event, Governor Lamont signed Executive Order 22-2 that created the American 250 CT Commission. Since then, the commission has been hard at work creating a structure, developing goals and themes, and engaging our historical, cultural, and civic organizations. Today, we are reaching out to invite Hebron to participate in the spirit of practical, help me out with that one.
Sorry.
Participatory democracy. We are seeking to engage our residents at a local level. With that in mind, we invite cities and towns across the state to make meaning of the anniversary in their own way. With inspiration from the commission goals and themes, we encourage every municipality in the state to bring together a group of people with various perspectives, liberties, historians, even municipalities in the state to bring together a group of people with various perspectives. Sorry, I'm reading it again. That's poor lighting over here. Economic development leaders, business owners, town clerks, commissioners on social justice, environmental and or DEI commissions, etc. To work together and create commemorative activities that resonate in your community. As your town comes together to plan this commemoration, we are looking to contact who can serve as a liaison between the commission and your community. We plan to share information about themes, programs, funding, opportunities, and promotional guidelines as we move forward. We also hope to receive feedback about what is needed from the commission to make this ceremonial a success, commemoration a success. I apologize. We have assembled any information you may need in one piece on our website. If you have further questions, please respond to this email. We hope you choose to be involved. Signed sincerely, Honorable Denise Merrill, Chairman, American 250 CT Commission, former Secretary of the State. Now, Donna, I know Holly couldn't join us tonight.
I think Holly is here.
Oh, okay.
So Holly, can you jump in, or well, her name is there, but I can just speak on her behalf for the town center project.
Donna, can you hear me?
Oh, go right ahead, Holly. Go on.
I'm so sorry, you guys. Thank you so much for allowing me the opportunity to speak off the cuff like this. I would just like to extend an invitation for the town center project to participate in this on behalf of the town of Hebron. Whether we are a member of a committee that the Board of Selectmen chooses to appoint, or we are the committee, whatever works best for the town. But we do believe that Hebron should participate in this America 250th celebration, and we'd like to be involved.
Perfect. Thank you. I think it's a wonderful thing. And, I would hope that there would be many people who also want to partake in this great point in our history as a nation. So thank you. At this point, we haven't discussed any kind of putting together of a committee or anything, but I think the town center project with your community spirit would be a great place to start. So thank you.
Wayne, are you
Excellent.
looking for any action on this tonight from us?
I think at this point, I think it's too premature because this is the first time we've discussed it. We may want to bring it up under new business to see how we want to maybe go forward. At least some ideas, but I don't think I know I haven't really thought of any down the road things. I don't know, Donna.
And more like, it seems like I meant more like acknowledging that we'll choose to be involved. It
Oh,
seems like, so I didn't know if Andy, you were looking for us to take some action as a board to say, yes, we want to be involved as a first step, or is this just, as Dan said, something that will come up later? I don't know that there'd be much hesitation, at least from my perspective, about moving forward with the concept of supporting this and having the town center project folks be an integral part of that because of the wonderful work they do in our community. So I don't know, is it helpful to take any action tonight, or is it just as information and you think the timing is better if we have this come up at a later time?
Yeah, so we brought it up tonight, and it's very nice that the town center project, including Holly's willing to step up to the plate. So I don't think we were looking for any action tonight. We'll put something more formally together, and we'll note that they've come forward and asked that, and we'll have something more formal for you guys to vote on it, maybe the next meeting or the meeting after.
Okay, thank you. And thank you very much, Holly.
yes.
Dan,
Thank
I
you,
have a comment
guys.
too.
Yes, please, Mark.
Yeah, I think that's good, Andy. And Holly, from my perspective, you're the perfect choice for this. You've proven yourselves in the past with any endeavor that you guys have ever involved yourselves in. If you're really feeling strongly about doing this, you have my 100% support. So I think Andy's idea will put something together and come up with something more formally. Maybe you can even have one of those contests again where you have some kind of Spirit of America chair that you have artists put in. And I love those things in town. So Holly, I'm excited that you want to get involved in this, and I don't think anybody can do it better than you guys. So that's how I feel.
Mark, thank you very much for your accolades. You know that the 4th of July is near and dear to the Town Center Project founder, Judy Bodell. And we just wanted to express to the Board of Selectmen tonight that we are interested in taking this and running with it. We don't need any action. We've got plenty of time, couple years. But thank you very much for the consideration.
Perfect. I again thank you. I think it's great, and I look forward to seeing what gets put together. So perfect. Thank you. Okay. Next, Andy.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I fixed my lighting situation. I moved my water glass out of the way of the paper I'm reading. I'm sorry about that, but underneath the town manager's report, we've been very busy with projects being the Wall Street sidewalk project. We met with or talked to the contractor today, the low bidder. So we're working out the contract, hoping to award that soon. That won't happen now until spring. There's some telephone communication poles that need to be moved. So we want to make sure all that coordination is done before we tie up that area. So we may possibly push that off till April 1st, but we're still moving forward. Also, we're working with the state and CROG. We got the additional money needed for the bids on the intersection of 66 and 316. So we're working through that to try to get that signed off. We have a successful bidder on that as well. As Danny had asked earlier, and I know Holly's on here, the town center project is still hoping at this point in time to have their event on Saturday, but they'll make a decision, I believe, tomorrow, depending on the weather forecast. So right now, as of tonight, the festivities are on, but stay tuned and we'll let you know as soon as we can what's going to happen with that.
Andy, sorry to interrupt. Is an option that it gets moved, or is this just either it's on or it's off?
I believe it's the one-day event, and then if it does not happen due to the weather, then I believe the event's canceled.
That's it. It wouldn't be moved to Sunday. Okay, I had seen some correspondences from different folks, just citizens saying that they were wondering if it would move to a rain day, would move to Sunday. So this is either it's on or it's not on.
Well, I don't want to misspeak. I know Don has been very involved in Holly. If she's still on here, they can chime
Okay.
in.
Yes, yes, thank you. I'm so sorry. I'm at actually another board meeting.
Oh.
Yes, so the Harvest Moon Festival is a one-day event. We've never had a rain date. We always just, you know what, it's going to be what it's going to be, and we're in for it. And this Saturday is going to be no different. It's going to be what it's going to be, and we're in for it, and we're all very excited. We've met today to try to kind of move some things around, maybe utilize the library, some inside space a little bit differently. But yes, we're going forward.
Okay, perfect.
Thank
We
you.
hope to see everybody there. Bring your friends.
We're coming now. Absolutely. With all that enthusiasm, we couldn't leave you there by yourself.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that immensely.
Thank you, Holly. Okay, so stay tuned on that. We hope they can have successful. They work so hard, and she's so energetic. I hope they can pull it off. Getting back to the town manager's report, we met with Kerma, our insurance carrier, to review our insurance policies. And I don't know, Peter, I don't know if we sent you any information. We're waiting for prices on the question you had at the last meeting.
No, I don't have anything yet, but thank you for keeping that in mind.
Yeah, so we're waiting for pricing. It would be some additional coverage than what we normally have or cover for some things. But there's an additional coverage that they're offering, and she's going to hopefully get us pricing in the next week or so of what that looks like. And we'll share that with you.
Thank you.
Okay. We have the new building maintenance person starting on Monday. He's going to fill the shoes that are hard to fill of Willie Bell, who retired recently after 30 years. So that gentleman will start on Monday, and Willie's opted to come in and show him around his routine and introduce him to staff and show him where the nooks and crannies are in the buildings. And so we're hoping for a good transition there. So we've been working on that. Tomorrow, we're going to open the bids for the addition of the Company One firehouse for that addition on the bay. So hopefully that's going to be successful, and we can move that project forward as well. We're working to try to find a new finance director and also an assessor. So we've been busy with trying to fill these positions. A lot of it's due to attrition. The assessor has left Hebron after about a year of employment, but she lives right next to the town of Putnam. Putnam had a job opening similar to Hebron. The pay was similar, but it was a mile from her house. So she opted to take that advantage of that. We are starting to get the draft building assessments from the company we hired to do the facility study. They're coming in, the reports are in for the two schools, and they're starting to come in for the town building. So we'll look at those and hopefully have those to help us guide us with CIP requests. And then Danny brought up, there was a Maple Fest survey that's out there from the town center project. Hopefully people took the time or saw that and filled that out. And I believe they're gonna have a meeting to discuss the responses to the survey. I think, and maybe Donna can help me. I believe that's November 1st. Don't quote me, but.
That's
some-
correct. November, I believe it's November 1st at 6 PM at the library.
Okay, thank you. So, yeah, so that's, the theme is it's coming back to Hebron, and the town center project has graciously offered to institute that and work with a new committee. And we're gonna try to keep that more Hebron orientated and see what the people want from the survey and move that forward. So that's what I had, Mr. Chair.
Okay, perfect. Any questions? Okay, hearing none, moving on. Old business. Okay, Andy?
Old businesses, American Rescue Plan. I don't know if anybody wants to dive into that. We put quite a bit of backup material in there from the department heads on where they are. We keep getting requests. But on the front page, it says attaches the updated ARPA project status reports. The totals of funds committed are 2,668,563. And the total uncommitted is 144,151. So all the projects are moving forward. Some of them are in the planning stages. Some of them are at planning and zoning. I know the lighting project at the ball fields. Craig was looking for some help with some of his committee members, getting that information and sending that. They already met, I think, once with planning and zoning preliminary to see what they wanted, and they're working to get that information compiled, and then they're going to go back. So a lot of the projects are moving forward. Playscapes are hopefully going to be in at the end of November, and if it gets later than that, we might push those off to the first of the spring. But we continue to get the updates, and we'll supply them as they come in.
I don't know, yeah. On the, a couple of them, I started going over, like on the skate park, it appears to be over by about roughly 6,600. How is that going to work? Are they going to have to come back to us, or is there any kind of a contingency? How's that going to work? From what I could see, it looked like they were allocated 145, and it looks like the quote came in at 151, 579.56. So, other than that, most of the pickleball courts came in a little bit under. The playground at Vets Park, I guess they're going to be doing their site work.
Yes.
Okay. And then I had another question. There was a paper here. Let's see if I can find it. It was, I'm assuming from I don't know from who, the state. And it talked about, the extension of a state contract. Is that been taken care of? It's a hello, Craig. Below is an email from the state regarding the extension of the state contract. I'm not sure if it was with constructive recreation. I'm just trying to ascertain where we are with that. If
Yeah, I know. We had to extend a couple of the steep grant contracts, but I'm not sure if we have anything with ARPA with it. It's
Okay.
probably the bridge, and we had to extend the steep grant because it's still in the design stage. I'm not sure. I don't know if Donna.
It says playground recreation and park equipment.
I think what it probably is he probably purchased this or ordered it through state contracted pricing.
Okay.
So, and if they, if the state contract has been renewed or if there's an extension, but I think it's that contract that it's talking about.
Okay,
State
as I
contract
say, I
pricing.
just kind of, just trying to get, it doesn't really give any kind of description as to what it's for or anything. You know, it's
No,
like,
that
"Ugh."
makes sense. That's exactly what it is. Thank you, Donna.
Okay,
And then the other thing, as far as the skateboard park, they have a committee that they're dealing with. So that was a quote we got early on, but now they're dealing with the committee. They'll probably be doing some refining of those prices when the committee
Okay.
decides exactly what they want to end up with. So I'm not sure, what the final number is going to be, if it's going to be more or less. So, but I talked to Craig this morning, and that was one of the topics of where are we with that? And he's dealing with the committee, and they're excited to hopefully move something forward, but they're not committed to that original quote.
okay. I mean, other than that, there's a lot of information, which is great. And a lot of things, like you're saying, are moving forward. There's a lot of moving parts for you guys to have to try to shuffle.
Dan,
Anybody have
can I-
a,
oh, sorry.
no, please.
Donna, that's really great. I don't think there's any real need to understand more. You guys have done a lot of work on this, very complex. As Dan said, a lot of moving parts. That's very descriptive. I just had one thing. I'm looking at the active shooter line, and somehow police vehicle got included in that line, and those are really two separate things. Is that a mistake? Is that what's happening there?
Yeah, originally, yes, originally the police vehicle was a separate line item from that active shooter. So
Okay, so that's that vehicle, we have it, but they still haven't finished putting the radio in and
Can I
Uh,
jump in? Because it's
yeah.
not the actual police vehicle. It was the toolkits for the vehicles and the school, the
okay.
classrooms. So active shooter toolkits for police vehicles and classrooms.
Okay, now I get it. And actually, we've just been working on that, getting all the emergency tools outfitted in the vehicles. I just met with the fire chief today because he's really quite an expert on how to breach and get into areas to rescue people. So we met with that today. And, hey, Dan, just to respond to this, since this whole active shooter thing is really developing a response for the whole town, it's comprehensive with everybody trying to get what they want. Maybe at the end of this, and obviously we're still ongoing with this, maybe I can get those bulletproof vests out of this because that would be part of the active shooter program. And we don't have to consider the fire department's ARPA request to get that. And we don't have to worry about that. I talked to the chief about that today. I don't know how you guys feel about that. If we can save that for somebody else or more of a contingency, I might be able to be frugal and get some of the things they want out of this because it's all part of the same program. What's your guys' feelings about that?
Well, I
Dan?
mean, in my world, as I say, if whatever we can do, however the best we can stretch a dollar is great. Like I said last time, not to be considered, but just as to be thrown out there. We had saved a certain amount of money, and I can't remember on what, but it pretty much would have covered those things. So something down the line, as things get told and finalized, I think we will be able to find the monies for that also. And that's what I was saying. I mean, not to be decided on, immediately, but I think down the road, as long as things keep coming in relatively close to what the anticipated costs were,
Okay.
I think we're going to be okay.
It was the license plate. It was the license plate reader.
Okay. See, you remember,
Hey,
I'm
hey,
old. I remember cartoons from 100 years ago. No.
Me too. Hey, so if that's the case later on and when we have that, fine. If we get stuck, I'll do some prioritizing and, you know, if we have to use some of that, because a bulletproof vest, whether it's on a cop or a firefighter, it's still making us safe to go in and help people. So,
Yeah, we need to protect our first responders. So Mark, you know, I really appreciate what you're doing here, and we'll just keep it on the list of things that we have to figure out, and we'll do that. You know, we
Okay.
have to protect our first responders so they can get to the people that need help. So
Thank-
you're doing a really good job with that. I really appreciate it.
thanks, Peter.
So,
Mr. Chairman, just a comment, if I may. I just, you know, what Mark said too, I just want to echo, I really want to thank Donna, Andy, and the staff providing all this detailed information. I think, you know, we can be really proud of this list and how it's developing and how we're managing the project. Obviously, the town is managing the project, a lot of great information. And I know it takes a lot of time to put all that together, but it really makes me feel that we have a strong handle on this, and appreciate all the good work that the town and staff is doing in this. So I just wanted to sort of echo Mark's comments on that as well. Thank you.
you're welcome. Thank you. Yeah. And, you know, high accolades to our town staff. And it's really 3 people that have been doing all the compilations of all this, of all these projects. You know, I also think I need to, you know, put a thank you out to all the other town employees, you know, the leadership who have been, again, doing all the work, as well as their other functions, whether it's public works, parks and rec, planning and zoning. You know, again, we've got some incredible staff that have really rolled their sleeves up and done a tremendous job. Yeah, it makes everybody, we're lucky to have a town that we have. Leave it at that. Okay. Anything else on the ARPA? Moving along, our next thing would be the Public Works Action Committee. We discussed it, almost voted on it last time. Noticed that it was basically decided or whatever planned to be voted on tonight. So Andy, did you want to discuss any of this?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. So here it is, it's revised item 7B. It's up on the screen. Department of Public Works Action Committee finalized charge and consider appointments. So I know there was a short list developed and it's listed below. We left the names in the motion, but we haven't heard back from everybody that was on the short list. So I'm pretty sure Donna can fill in who hasn't actually sent a letter in expressing interest to serve on this committee. But it's a recommendation. You guys can consider how you want to move forward. I would recommend that you move forward, establish a committee, and then you appoint the people that have sent in a correspondence stating that they want to be on the committee. Peter's here tonight. I think he wants to serve. I'm not sure, but he'll speak for himself. But Donna, as we move down through this, could you let the selectmen know who we haven't heard from yet that's on the list? Or is it spelled out?
No, I can, it is there, but I can tell you, it's, everybody has been contacted. Mel took, the volunteer to reach out. So everyone has been contacted. We've only heard, from Mal and Rich Steiner, and then we recently heard from Todd Habich as a citizen at large. The other members of the building committee, Andrea Latanzi and Mark Stewart, we have not heard back from yet. So if we do the proposed motion to make the appointments, I think we would probably just do Peter, Richard Steiner, Mel Lecter, and Todd Habich tonight. And then add to that committee when we hear from the others. And you did establish the committee at the last meeting. So tonight you really only need to make appointments if you want to move forward.
Okay,
Thank you.
I like that idea.
I do too. Let's see if I can screw this up. Make a motion to move forward the appointments of Peter Casper, Richard Steiner, Mel Lecter, and Todd Habich to be 4 of the 9-member Department of Public Works Action Committee. And I don't know if, actually, there's a motion down here. So move the Hebron Board of Selectmen appoint the following individuals to the Department of Public Works Action Committee. I think it was pretty much what I said. Peter Casper, Richard Steiner, Mel Lecter, and Todd Habich, with the remaining 5 people to be appointed at later meetings.
Can I make an addition to that motion?
Sure.
It's, I think we ought to establish the committee chairman.
You don't want
And
them to appoint their own chair?
I was thinking that, but tell me how you guys feel. I know a person who's done this before, who's had the experience, who I feel comfortable in guiding this, who's open-minded, who listens to both sides. And for me, that's Peter Casper. I feel better establishing this committee with its members, knowing that the guy at the helm is going to get it going in the right direction and keep it going in the right direction. But if you guys don't feel the same way I do, I understand. But that's how I feel.
I don't have a problem with that. Peter, would you be interested in doing that, acting as chair?
Well, first of all, thank you, Mark, for those kind words. And I think I would feel better if I know Mal normally would be here, and Mal, unfortunately, was not able to be here tonight. But I appreciate it very much, and would suggest that maybe we defer that discussion, and maybe you could bring that up at the next meeting when maybe more of the members are present. But typically, I would expect the committee to appoint the chair, even though clearly I'm humbled by your description of my impact. But I would defer to the committee. And clearly, if there's recommendations we'd like to make, I think that might be prudent to put those forward as from the Board of Selectmen. If we feel collectively we want to recommend that me as a Board of Selectmen representative would like me to be considered for that, I think that might be appropriate. But I would defer to the committee to at least have a chance to weigh in as well.
Okay, Peter.
Andy?
I'm good on that issue.
Okay. Okay, so all hearing the motion, all in favor, please signify by saying aye. Peter Casper?
Peter Casper, aye.
Mark?
Mark Rivera, aye.
And myself, Dan Larson, aye. Motion carries. Okay. Our next item would be the Public Works update. Andy?
Yes, item 7C is the Public Works facility, the existing facility update. So the roof has been completed, it's been coated, the leaks have stopped. And then the rest of the list reads through until you get down at the bottom. When we did have a visit from DEP, Department of Environmental and Energy Protection, they looked at the whole site and facility, and there was a recommendation that we needed a little bit more secondary containment around some oil containers. That has been completed as well. So that's the update.
Okay. So outside of the fact that we really need new structures, the facility is as good as can be expected, I would say.
We need space. That's what it is. The 90% of the request is more space to to operate.
And, yeah, and hopefully. Okay, next with the charter revision update, again, Andy.
Yep, item 7D, Charter Revision Commission update at the October, let me move my glass again there, that's better. October 5th, 2023, Board of Selectmen regular meeting, Selectmen established a 7-member Charter Revision Commission. Attached is a proposed charter revision schedule and a list of items identified thus far of inclusion in the charge for the commission. The Selectmen should work to finalize the charge. Recruitment of members will continue during October, with the Charter Revision Commission anticipated appointment on November 2nd of 2023. To date, 8 individuals have expressed interest in serving on the Charter Revision Commission. And that is Michael Dagon, he's a Democrat, Marianne Foote, Republican, Davis Howell, a Democrat, Mal Lecter, D is a Democrat, Adam Achman, D, Democrat, Heather Pettit, D, Democrat, Jessica Stewart, R, Republican, and Mark Stewart, D, Democrat. Following
Okay.
is the town of Hebron's charter reference and link to the state statute governing charter revision.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes,
just a quick question. Thinking of the past when Gail served, should we have a Board of Selectmen member on this commission, or is that just, does it matter?
I'm trying to think if we've always had one or not. I honestly don't know. I don't remember.
I
You
just think
could,
this
you could have one,
We could, but it's not, okay.
you could have one, or you could have a resident town that's an employee like Donna from the
Okay.
town manager's office. In the past, we've had selectmen, but there's a requirement for only so many elected officials with a 9-member board or 7-member board, which is, this one's a 9. But however you want to do it, yes, there's been a selectman on it in the past.
Let me
Andy,
say
don't
there's
give
something like Donna.
Don't give
on-
Donna more work. Sorry.
Go ahead, what you said?
I said, don't give Donna more work, Andy.
No, I didn't. Andy did. I didn't say anything. No, it's Andy.
No, not you. I'm saying Andy. You know,
I'll speak up for myself here.
Where is she? Help us, Linda, help us.
No, I'm at those meetings anyway. So as the staff liaison and just trying to, organize and keep things moving for the commission. And I can go either way on that. And I have served in both capacities. I've served on the Charter Commission and as staff liaison. So. But we
You could serve both?
do have several, yes, and several of the people that are on our list are public officials elected, or a few of them may become public officials in the election. So we are going to have to be careful in, making sure that we don't exceed that number with the 7-member commission. So.
I would love and be honored to have Donna be on that. The wealth of knowledge is unsurpassed by anybody else. And because of the time frames and everything else, I hate to put it on her shoulders, but I would love to see her there.
Well, if she's, as Donna said, if she's going to be there anyway, Dan, I agree with you that she should have, the same voice as anyone else on the committee for the reasons that you've articulated, especially if she's attending anyway. So if she's up for it, maybe as this list develops, because we obviously are moving forward on the list tonight, that we could maybe, if she's okay, consider adding her name to the list. So at least if she's going to be there anyway, I'd like her on, having the same voice as everybody else.
I agree.
So,
I agree.
Yeah, and then we had discussed that. I just didn't throw her out there. I mean,
I was just messing.
no, she's in now. It's too late. It's too late. She's in. Or at least let's make sure we put her on the list again.
She spoke up for herself anyway and said I didn't need to speak for her. But I feel the same way Peter does. If Donna wants to do it, since she's going to be there, I I think she should have a voice, and her wealth of information is immeasurable. So I think all three of us are in agreement on that.
Yes. Definitely, 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 definitely.
Do we need to vote on that and add her to
Well,
it?
the
or-
thing is,
We have to wait,
uh,
right? We have to wait for
next-
the election too, right?
Okay.
well, we appoint November 2nd.
Right.
But the issue is depending on who we appoint, there may be a couple of changes depending on how the elections pan out.
Right.
You know,
But we have to do it on the second. We can't do it on the week after the election or the, you know.
Well, we could at least get going because they've got to start doing their charge.
I'm just thinking
That's
you
the
don't want to include somebody, then the next meeting say you're out because now we have too many elected officials.
If
Right.
that's what has to happen, that's what has to
Okay.
happen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a time frame thing. That's
Okay.
what we-
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Our next would be 8A, Andy.
All right. This is, shouldn't be much laboring on this. This is approve revised job description for the finance director attached as a proposed revision to the job description of the finance director with minor changes as shown. It's more just cleanup, so I don't think there's anything that was drastically changed.
Yeah, it was there and she was changed and
Yeah, gender neutral mostly.
I'll move the Hebron Board of Selectmen approve the revised job description for the finance director as presented. Any discussion? Hearing none. Peter,
Peter Casper, aye.
Mark,
Mark Rivera, aye.
and myself, I. Our draft agenda for our November 2nd meeting, and I'm glad on there is the old business for the Parks and Recreation Park Policies Update. Bet. So I'm glad to see that that's on there. If anybody has anything else that they want added or whatever, of course, get it into the town. Is there any other new business that we have coming before us? Okay, hearing none. The consent agenda. These are items that be considered routine in nature, which may be voted on individually or as a group. Any board member who wishes to discuss a particular item in this section may request the chair to remove it for later discussion and separate vote of necessary. And because I have some corrections in the minutes, make a motion that we accept the tax refund as presented. All in favor signify by saying aye. Peter,
Peter Casper, aye.
Mark,
Mark Rivera, aye.
and myself, aye. And then on the approval of the minutes, I have literally a few changes or corrections, whatever. And it's on page 5 of 7. We had discussed the Parks and Rec issue that for the firearms and weapons to be sent back. And also what's not in there to be sent back was along those same lines, the section 15 regarding horses, which I am suggesting that should be modified to state or other animals which are normally ridden, i.e. mules, donkeys, rather than just specifically stating it as horses. Section 14, I would like them to take a look at, and that was the one on bicycles that I had discussed, adding that bike paths may be closed due to environmental or erosion concerns where the continuation of such activities will cause harm to the ground. So I just think that those should also be listed in the minutes as have been raised as discussion items. Did anybody have anything else in the minutes to address? Okay, so make a motion that we accept the minutes of, I gotta go back because I got papers all over the world. The minutes of October 5th, 2023, to have them modified with those other two corrections in there. Any other discussion on the minutes? Hearing none. Peter?
Peter Casper, aye.
Mark?
Mark Rivera, aye.
And myself, I. So that closes that. Our next thing would be our liaison reports. Peter?
The Board of Finance, we obviously had a joint meeting earlier this week with discussions with the Board of Ed, obviously the Board of Finance, Board of Selectmen. So that really addresses the Board of Finance. The Parks and Rec meeting was in conflict. So I wasn't able to attend. We got an update from the chair that, and we'll see, Dan, if they've incorporated all this, but his update, Ken's update was that they approved the changes to the park policy as recommended by the Board of Selectmen. And those are being forwarded, obviously, to the town manager. And as you noted, it'll be on our agenda for the next meeting. They also approved the recommended location for the dog park. And that's the recommendation is going to be at Burn Hill Park, beyond the football field. I did have an opportunity to tour the area with Craig and a couple other folks on that committee. And Craig did a really nice job of identifying, based on the configuration of the original plans and approval of the plans for Burnt Hill and how it was configured, that there's a significant amount of acreage that was intended for future development of ball fields and parking and whatnot beyond the cul-de-sac there by the football, at the end there with that little turn, that cul-de-sac at the end. So if you haven't been back, there's a whole ton of acreage back there. And the original plans allowed for or had included the addition of a couple of ball fields and parking in some other areas back there. So it would meet remember there was some earlier concern about passive versus active recreation and how that's configured within the grants and the different areas that stipulate how our space and our parks can be configured. So that opened up the possibility to consider the dog park there. So he's got some really interesting ideas. So it's at a very initial stage.
You're on mute. You're on mute, Pete.
You're on mute, Pete.
Your mic went off, Pete.
Yeah, sorry. Maybe my time was up. Like I was accepting the Emmy Award, and they're like, so anyway, parcel's been identified, so more to follow, but they made good progress there, and it looks very viable. Obviously, there's a lot more work to be done in terms of information. And then other than that, the rec programs are going strong, and so my notes are the farmers market was successful this year, and youth basketball is starting up. So those are the updates they wanted me to bring forward to the board. Thank you.
Okay, great. Mark?
An interesting thing happened as our liaison reports. Last week, I was talking about active shooter and our reunification at Lions. So right after I made that little speech there, the president of the Lions called me up and said he didn't really know anything about it. So that was a great that we got that out there, because some of the powers that be.
Lost him too.
Wow. Hopefully he comes back. Looks good. Well, maybe.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I think I did what Peter did. I don't know what the heck I did. So so I get a call, and the Lions are key to this in their generosity. So sometimes as we move forward, our meetings do have an effect where we get people together. And so now I'm meeting with the Lions, Because if we can't use the Lions Fairgrounds or they're not on board with our active shooter plan, we would be in a lot of trouble. So the Lions are invited to participate in this. Today we had a big training day. East Haddam has joined us, guys, with mutual aid and sharing services. It was the first time they showed up to our active shooter. So now we have Marlboro, we have East Haddam, the Andover resident trooper came. So this has really taken off since we, and I'm going to give you guys credit, since we kind of took the lead on this. So East Haddam is looking at the resources and the weapons and things that we have and realizing that they're kind of out of date. So they're going to go back to their towns and try to bring them up to the standards that we've achieved. And that kind of made me feel proud of everything we've done. They were kind of jealous of where we're at, but we're trying to bring everybody to that point. So I'm really happy with the way everything's going with this. And obviously it takes time. You can't develop a first class anything in a short period of time, but we're really moving along to being where we should be and being able to support the public the way we should. So guys, thanks for always being on my side with that. And I like to report back to you when things go well, because we certainly get reported back to when we don't do things like people think we should. So that's my little speech. No Emmy, Pete, but that's it right there.
Well, thank you. And again, thank you personally, because you're the one that spearheaded this. But I'll also again give kudos. Hebron is in so many ways on the leading edge of so many things like this, like, trying to share resources and, thinking out of the box, coming up with new and better ideas for the mouse traps. And I don't think the residents of this town realize just what great leadership we have, both from our paid staff and our volunteer staff. I just, stories like that just reinforce when you hear that. It's like, oh my God, look what Hebron's doing. We should be doing that same thing. We've been on that cutting edge year after year. The only thing I have from Hebron Historic Properties, sadly, we have a resignation from Elizabeth Gannon. But they've been working on trying to do some Christmas type events at the Peters House. They're doing this in conjunction with Hebron Parks and Rec. So hopefully next month we'll be having some far more accurate discussions on the events that are going to be taking place, hopefully there. So they're trying to get some things moving. And that's about it until we actually have better descriptions of all of what's going to be going on there. But that's all I have. Andy, do you have anything from Chatham or WPCA or anything?
No, we're renewing at Chatham Health. We're going to renew the director's contract. That's every 6 years you have to do that, submit that to the state. So we feel Russ Melman has done an exemplary job through COVID and everything else. So we're fortunate to have him. We want to make sure we keep him. So we'll be moving forward on that. I'm the chairman of that committee. I'll be working on that. And then in Gail Richmond's absence at the Douglas Library, they had meet the new director of the library earlier this week. That went well. I think Donna said it was somewhere around 30 to 50 people. So that went well. And that's all I had.
Okay, beautiful. With that, we'll open it back up for public comment. Okay, I hear or see no public comment. So with that, I bid thee all adieu. Remember, flippers and snorkels for the weekend? No.
I'll make the motion that we adjourn at 7:55 PM.
Seconded.
Okay, and I agree. Have a great, safe
Thanks,
weekend.
everybody.